A record number of Gen Z Americans were eligible to vote in the 2024 election. That made them prime targets for the 2024 campaign. But how big is the youth influence, and who do they turn out for? And now that the results have shaken out, how do Gen Z voters feel? We spoke to Gen Z voters and analyzed data from Circle at Tufts University to find out. This is Gen Z by the numbers and in their words. Gen Z is widely known as a politically engaged generation, known to show up for causes they believe in. They turned out in droves for the 2022 midterms, but 2024 paints a different picture. In this election, the youth share of the total vote was just 14%. That's the lowest since the voting age was brought down to 18 in the 1972 election.
I decided to not vote because I still wanted to learn both what the parties could offer, or at least what the candidates could offer. And still today, I'm learning so much about each party, and I wanted to make sure that it was my right decision to do so.
As a common person, I don't think that my vote actually does matter. That's why I didn't vote. For me, I don't really have any stake in who works in the government because none of them work for me. So what am I supposed to say, you know?
Well, I voted in every presidential election so far. I feel like it's an important thing to do to at least signal something, whatever you're signaling.
I did vote this election. I think that it's really important to vote, and I think it took a lot of educating for me to understand how powerful our vote is. We make a really big impact online because we're really big on social media and things like that. But I think that it just shows that maybe we are a bit of talk, and we really have to make sure that they realize that you need to back up those opinions with your votes.
2024 also seems like a break from tradition if you look at which political party young people have historically voted for. Democratic presidential candidates have long had double-digit leads over Republicans. And while Harris still won a majority of the youth vote, her lead over Trump dropped 21 points compared to Biden 4 years ago. Even in historically blue New England, the youth vote shifted right in New Hampshire, Connecticut, and even Massachusetts. But if you look at how Gen Z identifies politically, maybe this all isn't so surprising. Gen Z does tend to lean more liberal than other generations, but the majority of young voters actually do not identify that way.
I voted for Trump. I've swung back and forth over the years. No particular political party or ideology. I mean, you can consider all of the individual issues, but at the end of the day, you have to make a holistic decision based on what you think is going to create the most positive outcomes.
I voted for Kamala. A vote for her is a vote for the future. Whether or not I 100% agree with her or on her stances on everything that she's ever done. But if we're going to have like a two-party system, I do believe that she would have been the better person to win.
Right now, the political party that I'm sort of like leaning towards would be a little bit more on the Republican conservative side. I still agree with a lot of the issues from the Democratic Party. I'm not like a full-on like liberal or anything like that, but I would say that some of the issues underlining the Conservative Party on stopping the war effort, the taxes, I feel like that was sort of something I would more go towards.
Trump's success was also a matter of appealing to young voters on the issues they found most important. Young voters overwhelmingly ranked the economy and jobs as their top issue, and Trump won a majority of the youth vote among those whose top agenda item was the economy.
I voted for Trump because I believe in change. When he was a president, things were way better and things had become like, a little bit in order, how they're supposed to be. And people were not like, going through hard times they are going through right now. A lot of things have changed, the economy, businesses.
A lot of the Republicans in the United States in Congress and our new presidential-elect just does not seem to care that much about the LGBTQ plus rights as well as women's rights, especially when it comes to abortion and things like that. So it was 100% no questions asked that I was going to vote for the blue side.
I didn't really hear anything from either candidate about protecting indigenous cultures or protecting Caribbean cultures or protecting African cultures, protecting, the people that I live with or people that I come from, none of those people were being talked about. So it's just something that I'm used to, and it's not something that I support.
Now, we know the youth vote alone didn't win Trump the presidency, but all in all, the data can give us insight into how he won so decisively. And as we head into another Trump administration, it's likely that Gen Z will continue to be the vocal generation we have come to know. But as this data shows, they don't have just one voice.
I don't think I would say younger voters are higher information or lower information on average than older voters. I think they're just much less homogenous.
I think a lot of people was always encouraging people to vote during the election and during the midterms, but I don't think there hasn't been a specific message to those youth voters yet.
In order to get young people to vote, they actually need to show up and show out for the stances that they agree with. I feel like no one really sat down and had a deep discussion with any Gen Z or younger people on why they hold the beliefs that they have and what would make them go out and vote.